You're broke and you like Japanese cars, but not the normal Japanese cars that everybody else likes. No, you're kind of weird and you like the Mazdas. And you're like, uh-oh, every Mazda that's actually kind of cool is like $5 million now. What am I going to do? Don't worry, friend. It's your boy Mark Roden, and I got you covered today with 10 plus 1 honorable mention, so technically 11 Mazdas that you can find under $5,000 that are still cool or serve somewhat of a cool purpose, if you will. If you guys want to support the channel any more than you already are, head on over to www.smoothstance.com/shop to pick yourself up a hat, shirt, or shorts. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into the video. Alright, so coming in at the number 10 spot is going to be the Mazda Millenia. This thing, I just want to say real quick, is slept on so hard. But it just seems like a car that doesn't get love because it is kind of boring, to be honest. But in my opinion, it's still pretty freaking slept on, buddy. It comes with a 2.3 liter supercharged V6 making 210 horsepower, and it was sadly front wheel drive. Just imagine if this thing was rear wheel drive and it had a manual transmission, though. Literally everybody would be driving one of these things and it would be all over the place, but sadly it wasn't. They do look very unique in my opinion, and they almost give off like an import vibe to it. Like it almost looks kind of like an old Nissan like Celsior, or Nissan Safiro, or like a Laurel, but they were released in the States, so you can get your mitts on one if you want for really cheap. Coming in at the number 9 spot is going to be the Mazda CX-7. Yes, an SUV, because I try to keep everybody in mind. So this is for the people who are looking for a nice family vehicle. It's also the people who really want an RX-7, but they can't afford one, and so they just got one letter off. They come with a 2.3 liter turbocharged inline-4 making 244 horsepower, and it was all-wheel drive, of course. And to be honest with you, I hate the looks of the CX-7. This is just personal opinion. I think they just look horrible, but the car itself was incredibly cheap. You can buy one for like $3,000 with low miles, and after you do, you have more space than any car on this list while still being pretty reliable too. And I'm sure if you have a creative mind, you could definitely make a CX-7 look cool. It's just not my personal preference. So if you like it and you think it looks good and you need a family SUV, this is a great option. Don't let me steer you away from it. Next up at the number 8 spot, 8 ball, buddy, is going to be the first generation Mazda 6. No, not the MazdaSpeed 6. Sadly, those are a little bit over the $5,000 mark right now, and it hurts me too, okay? I would love a MazdaSpeed 6 to be under $5K, but it's not. Either way, though, this little commuter car version of it comes with a 2.3 liter inline-4, making only 160 horsepower going to the front wheels. And this is by no means a race car, it really in any stretch of the imagination. However, if you want to make it look very cool, you absolutely can. They just have that very aggressive look from factory to them, especially in the front. The front looks very like mean and aggressive. I think it looks great actually. Now personally, I do recommend saving your money a little bit more and getting the Speed 6, but don't let the guy with like a freaking 1.04 KD in Call of Duty tell you what to do. I would just save up for the Speed 6 though if I were you. Number 7 is going to another incredibly slept on Mazda sports car. This thing might as well be called the Mazda Tempur-Pedic because it is so freaking slept on, dude, and nobody talks about him, and it blows me away. It is the Mazda MX-3. Yes, Mazda made more MX models than just the MX-5 Miata, and the others are very cool as well, friend. This one comes with an actually really wacky engine, a 1.8 liter V6 that only managed to make 130 horsepower going to the front wheels. Once again, Mazda, if you just decided to make your cars rear-wheel drive more often, they would have done great. Like, just look at the damn RX-7 and Miata line. They are some of the most desired JDM cars out there because they're rear-wheel drive. It just blows me away. At the time, though, this car was launched with the smallest V6 in existence. I just want to put that out there. A 1.8 liter V6. Usually, 1.8 liter is going to be an inline-4. That's just weird. Next up, at the number 6 spot, is going to another very slept on Mazda MX car. Not as slept on as the MX-3. This one's not like a Tempur-Pedic. This is more like a, like a pull-out couch type of deal. But it's the gosh darn MX-6. Yet again, they made another one. I know it kind of blows you away that there's so many MX models out there that you never heard of, but hear me out. This one was kind of actually cool. It came with a 2.5 liter V6, making only 165 horsepower, and once again, it was front-wheel drive. Why do you do that, Mazda? This thing looks amazing, and sure, it wasn't very reliable, but it looks awesome, and you made it front-wheel drive, so now nobody wants to talk about them anymore. That's just a bad decision. You should have made it rear-wheel drive. That's like the classic sports car. Front engine, rear-wheel drive layout. That's just sports cars. And you make them all front-wheel drive, Mazda. What were you thinking? back to the car itself though, get one of these soon. I do see these blowing up in the near future. The price is probably going to fly up. It's just a matter of time before people find out about them because they do look so incredible. But so if you do want one, get one soon. Next up, at the number 5 spot, halfway done with this list, is going to none other than the Mazda RX-8, one of the world's most controversial cars. Some say it's unreliable, others say they're just overreacting, and to be honest with you, I don't know which one to believe. I've read so many conflicting reports on both sides of the spectrum, it's just kind of, I don't even really care at this point anymore. Maybe they're reliable, maybe they aren't, I don't know. They come with a 1.3-liter 2-rotor rotary engine making 232 horsepower, and it was finally rear-wheel drive. They do look interesting to say the least, and they're definitely more unreliable than a normal car just due to the fact that it has a rotary engine. But we are car guys. We are meant to buy the cars that normal people can't buy since we can actually fix them, you know what I mean? So don't let that steer you away from it. Sure, it might be a learning curve. Sure, it might be hard to fix, but if it's not going to be your like daily driver and you're just trying to buy like a project fun weekend car, it might still be a good choice. Meet me at the number 4 spot for a nice pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and let's talk about the damn Mazda B2200. Yes, it's a truck made by Mazda. That was actually kind of baller as well. I don't really understand why people don't talk about mini trucks more often. I've been talking about them a lot frequently because I love them and nobody else does. So I'm going to start talking about them. They come with an absolute monster of an engine too. They make a ridiculous number of horsepower. It's got a 2.2-liter inline-4 making 60 horsepower. That's freaking nuts. And it was 4x4, so that actually is kind of cool. The 4x4 part's actually kind of cool. And the engine was a diesel as well, so you know damn well that this thing will last for just miles on miles on miles. Now, this isn't a sports car, obviously, but if you live somewhere where the main population is like freaking coyotes and deer, then this is a good choice for you because it can go wherever you want it to go while still looking relatively cool, especially if you modify it. 3rd place, baby. Alright. And it goes to none other than the Mazda RX-7 Facebook Marketplace. Yes, baby, you can still find an RX-7 under $5,000, but it's not the one that we all want. It's the one that we all don't want. But we'll settle for it because it still has a rotary and it still has the RX-7 nameplate, baby. It's the FB. It comes with a very small 1.1-liter 2-rotor rotary engine making only 100 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And yes, this car is very underpowered and it is definitely not fast, but it makes for a very good platform for like an engine swap. And since they are just so lightweight, like they're really lightweight, the horsepower really does go a long way. Like if you slap a stock LS in this thing, which you probably can because it has a pretty large engine bay, you'll have such a fun, like nice car. They also look really cool in my opinion. I actually like the FBs better than I like the FCs if done right. But that's just personal opinion, obviously. But it is a good car, just obviously it's not as like great as the FD. Coming in at the 2nd place for today is none other than the MazdaSpeed 3. Only the 1st generation though, sadly, because the 2nd generation is ridiculously expensive right now. I hate that. But this is probably my favorite hatchback, and to be honest with you, it is because of the looks. But also, the engine is great. Like, don't get me wrong, the engine is pretty good. It's a 2.3-liter turbocharged inline-4 making 263 horsepower. It was also front-wheel drive, of course, but it is a hatchback, so that makes sense. But this thing truly is just the best of like all worlds from Mazda. It's just like the perfect combination of Mazda. It looks good, it's fast stock, but you can tune it to be faster. It's very reliable, it has tons of space, and most importantly, it comes with a damn manual transmission, so you know you're banging through gears left and freaking right, left, right, center, middle, north, south. It doesn't matter where you go, you're banging gears, and it's great. Honorable mention time for today, and it goes to the Mazda Protege 5. I almost said Speed 5. That's not a car. Mazda Protege 5. I think the reason that it's called the 5 is because it has 5 doors. So someone said that in a comment section, and it makes sense. So thank you for whoever said that, but I just wanted to put it out there. It is still slow, though. It only comes with a 2-liter inline-4, making only 130 horsepower, and it was front-wheel drive. And once again, this thing is just another very good daily driver that can look cool and can be fun to drive if you know how to drive it. It handles well, but it's definitely not that quick. 1st place, though, is going to the most obvious one. I mean, you knew it was going to be on here at some point, and I know people are going to hate me for it, but hear me out. It is the Miata NA or the NB. They are the exact same car, so argue with the wall if you want. The NB is a little bit nicer and a little bit quicker, but the NA looks more cool in my opinion, so pick your poison. They're pretty much the exact same car. They both came with a 1.8-liter inline-4, making around 135 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And now that is, in my opinion, a very good combo. I know people are going to be like, oh, this is a horrible combo, 135 horsepower, bad. But they are incredibly lightweight. They weigh right around the 2,000 pound mark. Like, it's so lightweight. For reference, a 350Z is close to 4,000 pounds, so that's very good. And they have perfect 50-50 weight distribution, so handling is an absolute dream. They are literally just a larger go-kart, and they can be an absolute blast if you like cornering more than like top end speed. Oh, also they can fit, once again, any like motor in the engine bay for some reason, so have fun with all the engine swaps. I've seen Hellcat swaps, I've seen LS swaps, I've seen freaking airplane swaps in the Miatas. They're ridiculous. You can put whatever you want in them. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this one. I hope you enjoyed. I really do. It was a lot of fun. So obviously we've been doing like recently a little couple like certain car brands under 5K. We have done Honda. I don't know why it took me so long to think of that one. Why can't I remember? Honda, Chevy, and now we're doing Mazda. So we have a bunch to go. I want to do like almost everyone. That obviously I'm not gonna be able to do like Lamborghinis under 5K, but we have a lot to go. So I'm excited to like finish this series up. Obviously Nissan and BMW are coming very soon, so you don't have to comment say I want to see one on Nissan, I want to see one on BMW. They're coming. They're my two favorite car brands of all time, so they'll be here, don't worry. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania. Have a nice